I am about to embark on, excuse me, making a new journal, and this one's going to be a long stitch journal, and it's for a particular reason, which I will reveal later. So I'm going to start with the cover. So I have two bits of old upholstery type fabric. They are not big enough on their own to make the two covers, but I'm going to stitch them together on my machine, which I won't show you. I'll just show you when I've done it. And then together they will make this one cover. It's going to be an 8x8 journal, which is quite big, but they're what I want to do in it, I want a larger size spread area. So my first job then is going to be sewing them together. So I will come back and show you when I have done just that. I have joined those two pieces of fabric together now. I used just a zigzag stitch on the edges of each of the fabric, and then I used one of my decorative stitches just to add a little bit more detail. So this is now ready for me to glue to my board. Now my board is quite thick, and that's purely because that's what I had. A long time ago I used to make the spiral bound notebooks, and you used to be able to buy this pre-cut, and these are some pre-cuts from those days. This bit, however, I don't know what this was in the packaging of something, and this is what I'm going to use for the spine, and I've just cut it to 8 inches. So these are 8x8s. This is 8 inches by, I think it's 2.5. There is a reason I'm doing it quite thick. I'm going to put 4 signatures in, but I know that I'm going to do quite a lot that will bulk the book out, and I'm trying to build in a little bit of room for that. Doesn't always work, but I continue to experiment. So I am going to use this. This is one of, excuse me, a pair of spacers that you can get from Janie's Originals. You can also get this little corner thing that I'll use a bit later. This one is 1/2 inch. This one is about, let's say, 1.25 inches. I know Janie works in centimeters, so it will be an exact on the centimeters, but and then this one, that's about 3/8 of an inch, so you can use them. So I'm using this 1/2 inch. I want to make sure I've got enough at this side to fold over. So I'm just playing around with it for the moment, just to make sure that I can fit everything on my fabric. You can see these are really good because they help you to line everything up. So it's going to have to go a little bit that way. It's okay. I mean, I've got enough fabric there. But what I'll do is I'll kind of lie that one down so that when I stick this first bit down, I don't go any further over, so I know I've got enough room. I'm going to use again Janie's Originals paper bindery glue, and oh, see, it's my fault that I'm terrible at putting things away properly. So I'm going to put the glue on this again. This is my fault because I haven't looked after my glue very well, and I end up, right, here we go, we've got a pin. I end up plugging the nozzles up. There we go. So I'm going to put the glue over and Jenny will tell you don't use too much. And I have to admit that there you go. I knew I got this out for some reason. This is my gluing, my really, really disgustingly messy gluing surface. But the point of it is disgustingly dirty because that's what I use it for, to try and save my other surfaces. It doesn't always work. Don't always remember. But so I'm making sure that I have got glue over, and again, Janie would say it's too much, but I always go with too much. So just line this down, just going to make sure that I've got enough there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over. I want to make sure that I haven't got any bubbles creases. Now this is quite a thick fabric, so it's not it doesn't tend to happen so much. If you're using quite a thin fabric, then it's more likely to happen. So now what this spacer does, it will butt up here, and it will allow me, when I put this one down, to put it down, and it's all then in line. Okay, so I'm going to put the glue on this side. Now this is, I wouldn't call this necessarily a true junk journal. I mean, it is. So I almost want to call them a waste journal. I mean, not even that really, because what I'll be using is old book pages, and old scrapbooking papers that I have had in my stash for more years than I care to think of. We're just going to make sure, bear with me, I'm just going to find my sure this is nice and stuck. Okay, and then I feel like I haven't got this particularly lined up along the front, but you know, I think I can cope with it. It'll look pretty. So then I've got my last of my 8x8. So again, we're going to cover this with the paper bindery glue. This brush, if you want to call it a brush, we've got some of it there. This is Art Basics Prima. I want to say possibly it was in a Finnabair collection. Many years ago, I was fortunate enough to do a workshop with Finnabair, and I purchased these brushes around that point. There's this one, there's a wider one, and then there's also the long handled paintbrushes, which I don't tend to use, but they do look very nice in a jar with all my other long handled brushes. Hey ho. Right, so let's get this in properly. Okay, that's that done. Let's turn that over. Oh yeah, that's gonna look nice. Good. Right. So now what I need to do is to actually fold this in. So obviously it's not even all the way around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, she says, a pencil. There we go. Oh, excuse me, I've just pulled off the plaster that was on my finger. So I do apologise. I have to make sure it doesn't open up, but there we go. Where are we going? Here we go. So I'm going to draw. I'm hoping this is going to come up now. Yes, I can see the line. See the line. Right. So then we'll do it this way. I'm going to use I don't know. I might use pair of scissors actually. Might just because I've got the line there. I might just go with using a pair of scissors. Just come down this side. And then along here. Oh, I think my pencil needs winding up. There we go. Let's see that now. No, I've snapped it. So I do like these wind up pencils, but yeah, they do have a tendency to snap when you're doing something, putting a lot of pressure on. It doesn't need necessarily to be exact. I might actually use my okay, so this is I have other ones. This is Janie's original. It's got a metal edge. So just looking for my little rotary cutter. And we will use a rotary cutter. I can cut a pretty straight edge with a ruler, but might just as well use a rotary cutter. So you just have to bear with me because my filming area is not quite big enough for that. So let's just check we've got yep, I've gone off at a nice little angle there. But that's okay. At least it went the right way and went out. Yeah. These scraps will be kept for other things, maybe even in this journal, you never know. But these little ones, not so much. I mean, they might actually. That's the trouble is we all keep the scraps, don't we? Right, so let's move my sticky sheet out of the way and then do this side. So then like that. There we go. Right, another nice little piece for another time. So this is the way around I am looking at my journal. You can see it's going to be quite a chunky, substantial journal, but we'll see how we go. So, right now this little piece, and I'm not even going to bother drawing. It fits over here, and then I can just cut away the corners, and that way you end up with a neater corner. I'm going to do the same over here. Sorry if some of that wasn't in shot. I'm really not showing a very good example of cutting with a rotary cutter on that one. That's better. Okay, so I'm going to use more of the paper bindery glue to glue this on, but you don't really need to sit, and watch me do all of that. So I will get on and do that, and I will see you back and show you the finished cover when I am done. Okay. Got the basis of the cover stuck on now. I'm having a little bit of trouble with this, but where I've stitched it, but I'm not worrying too much. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick this piece of fabric that I've just cut over here, and then I am going to then I'll do these. So I will get on and do this little bit now. The next stage for the cover is I am going to cut some card. Now again, these are, I don't know how long these have been in my stash. You can probably, if you know anything about card making, tell by the brand that they've been there a very long time. So what I'm going to do, I think we'll have the tile one in the front and the damask one in the back. Right, so I'm literally just going to now cut the card to size, and I should probably be easy enough, because I think that's small. No, we'll cut them both together. Okay, so those will go away for something else, and then to stick, and it went that way. Stick that one on there, and that one on there. We're going to use the same, well, I'm going to use the same paper bindery glue to stick this down. Nicely inside the edges aren't sticking because I didn't put enough glue to the edge, not because the glue is not sticking. You can see, there you go, and then we will do the same on this one. Okay, right. Okay, now the next thing that I need to do now on the spine is to punch the holes. Now I've already gone ahead and worked out my grid. And when I do long stitch, I do tend to have a grid like this. Excuse me, just trying to get the lid back on my glue. There we go. Because it just makes life easier. Now I have screw punch, and again this is from I've got this from Janie's Originals. But this little mat, which I use as a protector, really old from a We Are Memory Keepers, another screw punch that I have. Now what I want to do is to make sure this is roughly in place. So what I'm going to do is use a little bit of low-tack tape. Doesn't matter if I punch through this or not. I just want to make sure this is sat in the right place. So we're going to put it there. Make sure it's there. Make sure it's on the sides. I mean, it's not ever going to be exact, but it can be nearly. Right, so I'll take that there so that it will sit. Might even put a couple more bits just to be sure. Put one bit there and one bit there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the screw punch so that I can see where I am punching the holes. So just having a slight change of mind on this, and I might just bring these end ones in. Yeah. So the reason I'm rethinking is because obviously this is the spine and the signatures will sit a little bit further in, and that might be just a little bit too near the edge of the signature. So what I'm going to do, and I'm glad I've made the decision now before I do anything. So I've got this is Tim Holtz ruler. I'm just bringing in another 1/4 inch. So, and then I'm going to put across so I remember which ones I'm supposed to actually punch and not the wrong ones. So we're just going to bring it all in. Not worried about those. On this side and then 1/4 and that one in 1/4, and again I'm just going to put the crosses so I remember where to punch. Okay, right, that's that looks a little bit better. So I'm just putting this underneath where it goes to about there, so I can do these ones. And all I'm going to do is use the screw punch to go through Now this has got a lot to go through. Remember, I've got really thick board and I've got fabric. I may be asking a bit too much of this punch, so bear with me. I'm just going to see with a pokey tool how far through I've got. I don't think I've got very far, have I? Let's just see. Where's my page gone? If that goes through any further. No. Right. So plan B, which is fine. What I'm going to do instead is to use the smaller of my the things on my crocodile. So I've got a 1/8 and 3/16. 1/8 is basically 2/16. Now it is what it will mean is I will have bigger holes, but I can deal with that. I'm not sure if that's going to really come up very well on the I can deal with it because, oh, excuse me, I can because the holes aren't very close together. If the holes, sorry, I digress at the moment. If the holes were a lot closer together, I wouldn't get away with this bigger punch. Because it is that much bigger. Now I'm going to have to do this off camera because of the way my light is set up for my recording. It's throwing all of this into shadow, so I can't see what I'm doing. So I will be back when I have finished punching. Okay, so the holes are now punched. Possibly not as nice and neat as I would have liked, but hey, you know, this isn't going to be what's inside isn't going to be all neat and tidy anyway. So that's it for this video, because that is the cover done for my long stitch journal. Next video I will show you how I put the make the signatures and then sew it all together with long stitch. Okay, I will see you again. Thank you.